thank you very much for everyone who's watched any of the episodes, liked, subscribed, and put your comments in. We really appreciate it. Last week we were talking about special edition shirts and how some of them feel just like a cash grab, others might have a bit of meaning towards them. Please do go and watch the video if you haven't watched it already. Today we're going to be talking about something that seems to have flooded the market more in recent times, and that is fake shirts. Now, my assistant to the host, John, is back with me today.
Hello.
Welcome. We're going to talk first about what we're wearing today. So what have you got today?
So this is a Sporting Cristal, top Sporting Club Cristal. It's from Peru. They're known as the Brewers, among other names, and that's why Cristal is apparently the most popular beer that this brewery produces. Never been relegated from the Peruvian Premier League or Division 1, you know, however they it. But yeah, it was bought a few years ago. Don't know when exactly it's from. I think it was probably bought maybe 8 years ago. And yeah, worn out running a few times as normal. Slightly less dog-eared than some of the other ones I have, but yeah, it's a good shirt.
Lovely. And I'm in Racing Club Long's blackout shirt, and we will come on to this shirt in just a moment. But before we talk too much more, John, give me your gut reaction, your first reaction to fake shirts. Have you got any? How do you feel about them? What's your opinion on them?
I've never knowingly bought a fake shirt, I'll tell you that. So I don't believe...
These lawyers have advised.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. My legal counsel said. No, very true. I've never bought a fake shirt. I've always bought them from West Ham shirts anyway. I've bought them from the club itself, and shirts like this was bought in Peru. But no, I've never knowingly come across a fake shirt that I've worn. In terms of why, I think we all know why. It costs a lot. You know, you've got a kid's shirt. I was looking earlier, I think for a West Ham kids kit, it's like 50 quid. They would get reduced halfway through the season. You know, for adults West Ham kit, I think it's 80 quid, and that's.
Can I just stop you there a minute,
yeah?
John? Because I feel you might be taking some of the material from later in the show.
I'm sorry.
So, spoke about the prevalence of fake shirts, and they do appear to be everywhere at the moment. There's a lot of websites that you can get them from. I've been targeted almost relentlessly on social media by companies sort of offering fake options, and obviously back in the day when we were kids, and often your nan and granddad would come back from holiday in Spain and they bring you a fake shirt, and they were terrible. And I'm sure, I can't remember if it was me or a friend, but I remember an England shirt when I was a child where England began with I. That's the sort of level we were talking about. As a kid, you didn't care greatly. You know, the older kids used to take the mickey out of you, but you thought it was the best thing since sliced bread.
My family never went abroad when we were younger, so I never got any of this. Yeah. Richie Rich over here. Spain when they were younger, yeah.
My nan and granddad.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Whereas these days, and I believe it might have been a friend actually. I was trying to tell stories to make friends and look cool, but you know how it works. These days, obviously, fakes are much better. They're, as I said, they're readily available, and they do actually look like the real thing, a lot of them. I sort of first learned of fake shirts, if you like, with this very Racing Club Lons shirt. My friend sent me a link that Lons had brought out a blackout shirt. I wanted to order it, went online, found the Racing Club Lons club shop, and it was 120 euros, I think it was, can't remember exactly. By the time you'd added in sort of packaging and postage and all of that, it was a lot more than that. But weirdly, on the top bar on Google, AliExpress, £10.52. I was like, what is this website? Didn't know anything about it at the time. Ordered the shirt, wasn't sure what was going to happen. And this arrived sort of 5 to 6 weeks later. And it is sort of, passable as the real thing. So I would say, again, my legal counsel has advised me to say that I did not knowingly know what I was doing. So, we'll cover that.
Ignorance is bliss, is that what they say? Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a little bit about modern fakes and how, as I said, how readily they are available, how much they're out there. What I wanted to do is go through a few examples of fakes that have been gifted to me. And and just to take your thoughts on them. So the first one I'm going to show you is a Poland 1982 shirt, and this is the year that Poland finished third in the World Cup, so means a lot to me and my family. But thoughts on this one? It's paper thin. I would say it's paper thin.
That's toilet paper from the 90s, isn't it? That's like that, yeah. But yeah, like the Polish emblem there looks passable, but it's, you can tell it's very thin there. But look, you've got official stuff here. What's that about?
Yeah, I would say that a shirt like this, for me, I wouldn't be able to get this and what this means to me and my family without probably getting a fake. I don't know that an original one exists. I mean, replica shirts weren't as big in the 80s. I don't know that one exists, but if it did, it would be hellishly expensive. So actually, to be able to get my hands on something, a replica, if you like, of the real thing, that's the only option I've got in this case. But this is, I don't mind the shirt, although at close supervision, certainly it's a bright day today. I can see John through this, although he does look like he's in witness protection. The second shirt I'm going to go for is this Ajax Bob Marley shirt. This is from 2021. Thoughts on that, John?
That's the materials. It looks better. Thicker material.
The detailing there, the three little birds. This is a Bob Marley one.
Yeah, it looks like, I like the colours there, the Jamaican flag colours. The badge, you can see the badge is not necessarily up to scratch there. Better quality than the other one, but you can still see. Are you going to tell me it's real?
No.
Oh, thank God for that. I was going to say
that was one again. Missed the boat on that one. Someone got that for me, so I missed the boat when the original was out, and someone said, "Oh, I can get you hold of one," and this was what came in. Turned out to be a fake, but I guess, some might say it's better than not having the shirt at all.
That's why I was kicked off the Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah.
Couldn't swap fake.
So this is a shirt I had as a kid, and I love this shirt. I'll drop the photo in the video of me as a kid in this shirt. Celtic 1991 away. Getting a real one, if you like. Over £200, like between £200 and £250 to get hold of a real one. Again, I can't justify that. I mean, my wife would say I can't justify a lot of the football shirts I buy, but nonetheless, would you as a person go down the route of getting a fake if a real one, if there was a shirt you really wanted and it wasn't available? Would you go down the route of getting a fake to have it in your collection or not?
It's a moral quandary, isn't it?
Which we will come to.
Yeah. Let's come on to the cost of things, but I'm not sure I would, I'd just look, even if I really, really wanted it, I'd, make a choice and I'm not going to do it, and I'd seek, not an alternative, not the same one obviously, but I'd think something else rather than the risk of getting some, low quality, light shirt in. So I'm not sure I would.
Straight-laced John there, absolutely straight-laced.
That's my legal counsel says.
Straight back. So, and the final example is this Parma 1993, again Umbro shirt. The old neck thing doesn't quite look right. It's a genuine shoelace, I think, on probably a size 11 as well, because it's quite long. But thoughts on that one?
I do like this old style of kit when they used to have these. It takes, it reminds me of a few, but again, it's hard to judge because it feels thin, but again, back in these days, that's how it was. But in terms of how it looks, that's probably, as you said, around here. But if it's on, official here as well, obviously. It's a nice looking kit.
I would say there's another one for me where I've loved this shirt for as long as I can remember, and someone found this and offered it to me, and to have it in the collection is nice. It's not a real shirt, I know that. But it's one that I sort of, I like the shirt, and I'm glad that I've got a copy of it at least. So we're going to move on now, and we're going to play a Spot the Fake game. I've got 3 shirts here, John.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show them to you, and you're going to tell me whether you think they're fake or real. So this one is Puma Parma shirt. This season's Parma shirt. Thoughts on this one? Is that fake? Is it real? And what's the giveaway?
This badge here looks skew-whiff. So yeah, I'm going to say that badge there is not looking straight. So I'm going to say that's a fake.
He's 1 from 1. Yes, that is a fake,
yes.
John. Well done. This is Dinamo Zagreb away shirt by Castori. Thoughts on this one, John?
So straight away, it looks more real than the last. But now I've got a 50-50 chance tonight. And if there's only one fake in there, it's like Saw, the film.
No deaths will happen.
I'm going to say that one. I'm not seeing the next one. I'm going to say that one's probably real.
So I will say that there's long been talk of Castori's quality issues, right? And this is a Castore shirt. But this one was real. It is real.
Yes.
It came from the club shop. My mum and dad bought this for me just before Christmas. So I hope it's real because it did come from the Dinamo Zagreb club shop.
Not one of their Spanish holidays back or friends.
And the final one is another Lens shirt. Thoughts on that?
So could there be another one? Again, the badge, that Puma, this
patched up.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you thrown 2 in there? Oh, it's like a hammers here for Lons as well. Interesting. I'm gonna go. It's a fake.
He's 3 from 3.
Yes.
Now this is a classic one. This is a goalkeeper shirt. Got the name Frankowski on the back, not a goalkeeper. So there's the classic, the classic fake thing. But that is from this season, I think. So yeah, it is a fake that I've managed to get my hands on. So I guess we were talking a little bit about it at the start. You know, why do people buy fakes? We've discussed how they're like readily available, but I mean, the price argument is one that we cannot get away from. Football shirts are at a higher price now than they've ever been. Clubs are bringing out 4, 5, 6 shirts a season. What do we expect people to do if they can't afford the shirts? And fakes are decent enough.
Yeah, that they can be passable. Like you say, it's availability, isn't it? You can get them from China or wherever, you know, like you said, with links that appear now, you can do that. It's the same with money in football. The tickets are expensive nowadays compared to when we were younger, although I didn't pay for them, my dad did. You know, it's watching football, so on TV, you know, back when we were younger, you used to have ITV for the Champions League. That was, you know, my golden age. Used to be able to watch TV. We did have a Sky Sports subscription as well. But now you need...
Whose money bags now?
Later on, yeah. All those foreign holidays have been gone. And then, so, you know, to watch it was expensive, both physically and on the TV. And then buying the shirt, you know, even for like your children, it's, you know, becomes a Christmas present from a grandparent, doesn't it? And that's the main thing. So, you know, the amount of money you're having to spend now in football does send some people down that route. And, you know, I'm not condoning it. I can understand it.
I also, you know, I know that within the football kit collecting community there's a real snobbishness around fake shirts, and I get that and I understand that as well, but I do see both sides of the argument. You spoke, you know, you've got 2 kids, I've got 2 kids. My eldest in particular has a deep love of football kits and football shirts. The first one I bought him, Southampton away one, was I think £45 or £50. Sponsor fell off it. And with respect to a 6 or 7 year old boy, he doesn't care what he does in it. He's running around, he's doing all of these sorts of things where they will fall apart and get stains on. Are you going to spend 50 quid on it or 15 quid for what to him is the same thing? And there is a real question to be asked there, I think. In terms
how much they cost to produce as well, that's the thing. And you know, it's like kids for £1 and all that. Why can't, and they're cheaper than adult kits, but why can't you have, you know, a kit that's like 15 quid for the kid? It's not like, you know, adults are going to palm off and like resell. It's just, you know, maybe clubs are missing the trick there, I don't know.
Well, I remember the first football shirt I ever owned cost £18. I remember it. But I guess in the day that was probably still very expensive. So, and then there's a similar thing for us. I mean, you talk about how much you run in your football shirt. I wear my shirts for basically, they're not a fashion statement for me. I wear them for playing five-a-side and for running, ultimately. Do I want to be wearing something that's £80 plus to go and sweat and run in it? You know, if there's something that I can do it in for 10 quid. So maybe not. So it's a tricky one. I mean, the other side of the argument, and it is a moral grey area, is that we don't know where our money's going, right? So I understand that bit. What are we funding by buying these shirts from China? Where is the money going? Are there children being used to make these shirts? I mean, I don't know. I would also question, you know, do we really know where our money goes when it's Adidas, Puma, Nike or whatever? It's still, you know, it's not 100% clear. And I do think there's a sort of moral obligation on those bigger companies as well to not be rinsing fans so much. You know, I've talked about how much fans have been milked, and you spoke there about ticket prices, shirt prices. A day out at a Premier League football match these days, how much does that cost? You add a shirt in, and it is getting ridiculous.
It's like I like to when I do travel abroad, I was going like when around, you know, the official football club shops, but you know, like you go to like Munich, for example, great city, but you know, 120 euros for a shirt, and you think as a souvenir, that's paid for like 2 of my nights out, sort of thing. So it is. That's why you come home and then buy them off the internet, like when you get back, one from, you know, 10 years ago or whatever. But yeah, it makes, you know, just in terms of souvenir, it's just expensive, and then, you know, people that can afford it, or, you know, tourists maybe have to afford it, but it doesn't sit well.
We even let Poznan in Poland, and when I first was going to Poland, the shirts were maybe £30, just over £30. They're 75 now. I can't afford it. I can't afford to do that. So I get one a season rather than getting all of them.
I did have an KSV or KSW Katowice t-shirt somewhere, a football shirt from Poland. I need to see if I can find that, just as a side. Bought that out there as well. That was cheap.
What is good to see is Brentford seem like a real great community club, have said that they're only going to bring out a shirt every other season, which it always used to be the way. And I, you know, despite being a collector, the amount of football clubs in the world, even if clubs only brought out a shirt every other season, there's still plenty of shirts to go round. So I think that's a route to go down. You know, I don't think it is as clear cut as fake shirts bad, real shirts good, because there's a lot of grey areas there, and I do think there's a responsibility on clubs and manufacturers to not be milking fans so much. Why do shirts need to cost 75, 80, 90 pounds? To your point, when the cost of production is as low as it is. If we're serious about stopping fakes coming into the market, don't just try and stop fakes coming into the market. Look at the conditions, look at the conditions that have made them so prevalent. And actually, if the real shirt costs 35 or 40 pounds, which there's still, let's face it, a big margin on that for clubs and for the manufacturers, then perhaps you wouldn't see people so keen to look for alternative routes. I do think as well, do we need 5, 6, 7, to go back to last show, where we're talking about special editions coming out that are worn for one match. You know, there's lots of things that I feel there's a responsibility on clubs and manufacturers. And I think if we went down that route a bit more and thought about fans as fans rather than as customers, maybe they wouldn't be so keen to go elsewhere to find their shirts, because they'd have that sort of, I guess, that buy-in to their club as well, and really want the money to go to their club that they don't feel is absolutely rinsing them.
And then the guarantees on quality that come from that.
So look, it's not an easy one for me. As I said, I've got a few fakes in my collection because I use them for the things like running and five-a-side. I don't want to wreck a shirt that costs me 70 or 80 pounds. I will wear those to the game if I go to the game. But if I'm doing something with my friends and I'm mucking around, or with my kids, I will wear a fake shirt occasionally, because I don't care if it gets ruined. And I do think if we're serious about stopping fakes coming into the market, don't just have it as such a a sort of black and white thing that, you know, fakes are bad, we've got to stop them, buy the real thing. Let's look at making that real thing a much more attractive product in terms of the cost, in terms of how we bring them out. And actually, if you bring out less kits, perhaps you can put more effort into the kits that you're designing rather than the constant rehash of, oh, I've adjusted the sleeve slightly, there's a bit more white here. You know, those types of things, I think we might see fakes disappear. But at the moment, the way things are going, they're here to stay.
Wow.
Well, I got into manifesto mode then a little bit.
Get that soapbox out. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Any final thoughts from you on fakes, John?
No, just summarise what you said. You can understand why people do it, and yeah, until we address the root cause behind it, it'll continue, won't it?
Okay. What are your thoughts on fake shirts? Do you own any fakes, or do you know where you can get them from, and what's the best you've got? Or are you completely against them? As I said, I know within the football shirt collecting community there are people that wouldn't touch them with a barge pole, with quite justifiable reasons as well, and I don't doubt any of those and appreciate your thoughts on it. So if you have got any thoughts, do drop your comments in below this video. We're going to be back next week when we'll be talking about goalkeeper shirts, and I know that's one, John, you've really been looking forward to. As I said to you earlier, we were brought up in the golden age of goalkeeper shirts, the 90s, so there's certainly plenty of meat on those bones, I think.
Yes, looking forward to that one indeed, yeah.
So until next week, once again, thank you for tuning in. Please do like, subscribe, and drop your comments below, and we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.